solo pod today, but before I start, this podcast is actually brought to you by Triumph Protective Coatings. Specializing in concrete polish, epoxy flooring systems, micro top, floor, and walls, and self leveling underlays. They speak Spanish, they're based in California, so you need your floor done, you need your garage, your business, whatever you need, they got you covered. Use promo code ARROWSUP to get 10% off. You can follow them on Instagram, triumph_quotings. So we're brought to you by them. Shout out to them. Thank you to them. And solo pot today, sports. I'm gonna do some a boxer that retired, which we know what that means. We got an NBA player that doesn't want to play basketball. We been there before. And then two managers in the world of football that are stepping down from the legendary clubs. So that's what I have for you today. Enjoy the pod. It was the podcast. Here we go. This is where we're going to start today. Shakur Stevenson, 26-year-old WBC lightweight champion, 135, has retired. Dun, dun, dun. The news came down yesterday. You know my rule. I don't believe you if you're a boxer or if you're a rapper when you say you retired. Just don't believe it. A lot of times this is publicity stunt. A lot of times this is comes from a place of fatigue. I'm tired. And so instead of saying I'm going to take some time off to refresh, to, rest or whatever, you just say, I'm retired. I'm retired. And a lot of it, this keeps people from asking, hey, when is the next album coming? Hey, when are you fighting so-and-so? Floyd Mayweather did it a lot of times, or, a few times. Delfimo did it last year, and he came back. And a lot of it is, for a reaction and stuff like that. So I don't believe it. Shakur Stevenson will fight again. I just got to say it so that, we're a reputable sports podcast here. So we talk sports, and I want you to feel like we're reputable. So I gotta say it. But I don't believe him. You shouldn't believe him either. When Shakur Stevenson comes back and you're like, wait, I thought he was retired. Just remember, whenever a boxer or a rapper tells you they're retiring from their craft, just be like, oh, okay, cool. Because it's not true. Shakur Stevenson said that he was retiring from boxing in a post he put on X or Twitter. And he put a quote, I'm officially retired from the sport of boxing, quote. And then it goes on to say, in quotation marks, again, quote, I will be in the gym forever, perfecting my craft and helping the next generation become great and chase their dreams. But I ain't F with this weak boxing game, end quote. What's funny about that quote is he says, I'm going to be in the gym forever perfecting my craft. Now, why would you be perfecting your craft when you're never going to use it? Doesn't make sense. So obviously he's going to come back. 2, he says, and helping the next generation become great. You are the next generation, Shakur Stevenson. You're the next generation. So it just doesn't make sense. So don't believe him. He'll fight again. But Shakur Stevenson, as of January 29, 2024, he is retired from the sport of boxing until further notice. So that's your little boxing update. We still haven't heard anything from Canelo, so we're still waiting on that. But supposedly everyone thinks that he's going to fight Charlo in May and Bud Crawford in September. I love Canelo. You know this. I'm a huge fan. Defend him. President of the fan club. Or co-president, I guess, because David will say he's president too. So, I'm either president or co-president of the Canelo fan club. But this is bad luck. If he doesn't fight Benavidez, it's a bad luck. Now, I think Canelo, and I want to put this on the record, I think Canelo beats Benavidez. I really think so. I think he's more talented than he is, and I think his skills would be the difference in that fight. But if he doesn't fight him, it's a tough look. It's a tough look for him because here's a guy that's done the opposite of a lot of what a lot of the dudes that have called Canelo done. Benavidez has, stayed active. He's fought dudes that are in front of him, in front of Canelo. He fought Plant. And he's made himself a legitimate name. And financially, it's the fight that would make the most money. So it just would be a shame if Canelo goes through this year and instead of fighting Benavidez and Charlo or Benavidez and Crawford, it goes Benavidez and Crawford in whatever order. He has to fight Benavidez this year. He has to. Canelo is who we think he is. If Canelo is who he says he is, he'll fight Benavidez. So I don't want to believe the reports. So I'm not going to believe it until I see the promotion from him, his Instagram, that he's fighting anybody else but Benavidez. But Benavidez is a fight in May. That's the fight that needs to happen. Now, if next year you want to go and chase after Munguia and you want to go after Crawford or you want to, just have a fight for yourself, fight Vedlanga, cool. Do you, man. But you got to fight Benavidez. He has to. He has to fight Benavidez. So, but we're still waiting. We're still waiting on Canelo. And so we'll see what he decides. Let's do some NBA. In the NBA, on Saturday, we had the disappointment of the year, and we had also the game of the year. Now, it's not in the same game, obviously, but we had, ABC, I was going to say NBC, they had in their contract, they had a bunch of Saturday games. So they became the provider that was going to give us Saturday night primetime games. And so it typically starts around this time as football's dying down, as there's no more football on Saturdays. This is where basketball begins to take full control of the calendar, of everything. March Madness will start in a few weeks. So this is where we kind of go all in on basketball for after the Super Bowl. So after next week, you'll get just the NBA who will take over all the headlines and all that. Then you'll get college who will take some of the spotlight for a little bit. And then it's back to the NBA all the way through June. And then, baseball will capture some of that limelight as well. But this is where the NBA begins to kind of spread the wings. So Saturday, we had ABC do like a triple header. And one of the games that they had, which was a game that we as fans were kind of waiting for, was the Nuggets versus the Sixers. And these teams played a few weeks ago. The week before, I think. It wasn't even that long ago before they had played in Philly. And Philadelphia won. Joel Embiid looked really good. And it was, Embiid versus Jokic. And Embiid's been playing out of his mind. And, some think like, oh, man, he's the favorite to win MVP as of now. But with the new rule of the games played, where you have to play at least 65 games to be eligible to win any of those awards, it was starting to become this sense of like, man, like, are we really not going to reward Joel Embiid, even though he's been awesome? And in that game in Philly versus the Nuggets on January 16th, Joel Embiid, 41 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds. He was amazing. He was amazing in that game. And it was one of those, performances that Joel Embiid gave last year too versus Jokic. And we're like, okay, they're going to play Saturday and it should be good. Saturday the 20th, 4 days later, they're playing this game now they're going to be in Denver. Not 4 days later. It was like 11 days later. So here we go. And ABC shows a video of Embiid walking into the arena. He's walking in. And it's like, oh, Joel Embiid, here he comes. Favorite to win MVP. He's got to play enough games, and it's his, blah, 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 blah. And then moments later, it's like, well, report just came out. Joel Embiid not playing tonight, late scratch. He was never on the injury report, but apparently during warm-ups, the trainer saw something he didn't like. BS. And this is the part where Adam Silver needs to be more like Stern. Stern would have never stood for this. And this is where we have to be, we as fans have to demand more. Because David Stern would have never stood for this. David Stern wouldn't have stood for these players just sitting out just because. He wouldn't have stood for players on nationally televised games with the biggest partners, with the biggest audiences, just being like, nah, not playing, sitting this one out. And for Joel Embiid, now, keep this in mind, Joel Embiid last played a game in Denver, November 8th of 2019. And so it's been a long time since Joel Embiid has played in Denver. So clearly, whether it's the altitude and the running up and down, something does that about playing in Denver Joel Embiid doesn't like, and he hasn't played a game there in 5 years now. It's 5 years, which is unheard of for an MVP caliber player. So the 76ers are going to make their excuses for him, and I just think this is where the NBA and the teams have to come together, because it has to be for the fans. Because you can't just slap your fans in the face and expect fans to purchase these tickets that are super expensive, by the way, and go to the game and then at the last minute not see the guy that they think they're going to watch. Because just imagine if you bought this tickets to this game and you said, man, ABC, Saturday night, Denver versus Philly, I'm guaranteed to watch Embiid versus Jokic. And you show up and no, this doesn't happen. No way. Embiid last minute says no. And can just imagine just the waste, the waste that you feel. And the NBA, over and over again, by the actions that the players have taken, by the lack of consequences that the NBA has shown to the players for sitting out, for this load management stuff, has told us that the regular season doesn't matter. So it's why when people don't tune in to watch the regular season, and when the numbers are low and the ratings are low and the NBA is like, man, how can we get the numbers higher? You know how you get the numbers higher? By caring. Because if you're not going to care about the product, then why should I care about the product? If you're going to give me crap, and that's what you're going to serve me, and you're going to present to me this crap product, then I'm not going to watch it. There's so much to watch on TV. I'm not going to tune in to watch these guys that don't care to play basketball. And I know it's a lot to ask for basketball players to play basketball, but there has to come this moment where almost like a come to Jesus moment from Adam Silver to understand that he needs to stop being their friend to the players, but he needs to be the boss. He needs to be the enforcer, and the teams have to rally around. They have to rally around the commissioner, Adam Silver, so that they can enforce these things. But what you have is all these teams are now afraid of their star player who's gonna, if they piss him off just a little bit, he might demand a trade, and now they're out. And this is so out of control. It's one thing for the players to have the power to move and want to play wherever they want. It's a whole nother thing when players are keeping these franchises hostage, and these franchises are unable and unwilling to make trades or make moves or enforce things because the player is too sensitive and the player might get upset. Imagine if you're an NFL fan, you're an NFL fan and you're looking at the schedule and you say, man, I want to watch, I don't know, say you're a 49er fan. Or actually, you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Right? You're Cincinnati Bengals fan, and you want to watch the Bengals, and then Kansas City's coming to town. And you're like, man, Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes. The Bills are in town. Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. That's what I want to watch. I'm going to save my money, and I'm going to go there. I'm going to take my kid. I'm going to go with my friends, whoever. That's the game I'm going to go. And you saved your money, you bought the tickets, and you're excited because you know that no matter what, you're gonna watch Joe Burrow versus Mahomes, or Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson, whoever. And you get to the stadium, and you're so excited, and at the last minute, it's like, oh, Josh Allen, the traders didn't like what they saw, so Josh Allen scratched. He was not on the injury report all week. He practiced 100%. No problem. Last second, not in the game. That would never happen. That doesn't happen in the NFL. 1. 2. This is something that happens to the star players in the NBA all the time. And it's time that we put an end to it. It's time that as fans, we begin to demand more from the NBA, from the players. Now, I'm not going to do the whole old head argument of Kobe would have never done it. Jordan, I'm not going to get into that. It's your job. At the end of the day, this is your job. And if you are healthy enough to play, you should play. And if you're not healthy enough to play, then we should be notified. Hey, so-and-so can't play. I think it's because Joel Embiid is out of shape, and Joel Embiid wouldn't survive in Denver. And if that's what it is, well, you know what, Joel Embiid? Get in shape, dude. You're getting paid $60 million a year. Why don't you get in shape? Why don't you invest in a trainer? So it was awful. Now, on that same Saturday night, on ABC, we had Lakers-Warriors, game of the year. LeBron versus Curry, and they just were awesome. Double overtime game. The Lakers survive and outlast the Warriors. But Curry, man, that guy is still really good. And the Warriors need to figure out a way to put a team around him because they're wasting a really good Steph Curry season. The Lakers, since that game, and I thought, man, the Lakers have figured it out. The Lakers are going to go on a run here. No, the Lakers are the Lakers, and this Laker team is just so frustrating. Yesterday, they go to Houston. They're on this road trip, this 5-game home road trip. At Houston, shellacked. Dylan Brooks was tough and physical. The Lakers were soft and floppy all over the place. Today versus the Hawks, they lose again. Lackluster performance. AD didn't play. but just no heart, no passion from this team. I think Darvin Ham has lost the Lakers locker room, and I think it's time for him to go. Doc Rivers should have been coaching the Lakers, not Milwaukee. It doesn't get easier for the Lakers. They go at Celtics on Thursday and Saturday at New York. Both of those teams are playing really well. Now the Celtics lost 2 games at home after they were like virtually unbeatable at home. But they beat the Pacers, they beat the Pelicans, and so by the time the Laker game comes around, they'll be pretty rested to face this Laker team that's super, super fraudulent on Thursday night. So, not looking good. Things aren't looking good for the Lakers. I said we would judge them after February 8th. I still stand by that. That's next week. But you shouldn't be losing to the Hawks or the Rockets. No chance. These are the games you win. These are the type of games that you use to catch up in the standings. And for you to lose those 2 games, it's embarrassing. On the other side of the coast, we have the Miami Heat. Now, the Miami Heat, and these guys, they go to my point of the Joel Embiid, where the regular season needs to start mattering, and the NBA needs to make an emphasis of making the regular season matter. The Miami Heat are a team that has lost 7 straight basketball games. Now, are we worried about the Miami Heat? Not really. And we're not worried because we know that this team is a different team in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler in the regular season just doesn't care, and he's made it very clear. He goes games where he shoots 12 times. Just doesn't care. Complete disrespect for the regular season, for the competition, day in and day out. And in the playoffs, he shoots like 30 times, and he's super awesome. And he become a completely different team. But they've lost 7 straight, and they've looked awful in those 7 games. And we're going to blink, and we're going to look up at the standings, and the Heat are going to be fine. We're like, why do we worry about them? Or the playoffs are going to start, and they're going to like be in the second round. You're like, yeah, you see, they're second round, they're up 2-0. Why would you even worry about them? But this is what I mean. Like, it has to mean something, the regular season. It has to mean something, these seeds, because you have to reward the teams that put in the effort and put in the work. As much as I hate the Celtics, the one thing you have to respect about the Celtics is that these guys show up every single game and they're playing hard. Every single game. They could be one of these teams that says, well, we've had playoff success. We just care about the playoffs. So whatever, we're going to give you the bare minimum. Giannis, too. Giannis is another one of those dudes that Giannis is so incredible, so amazing. And part of it is because he plays every game really, really hard. And the NBA needs to champion those guys, 1. 2, but they need to make an example out of everybody who isn't doing that. Because what the NBA is suffering with right now is a competition problem. Where these guys are so... It's not even the friendly thing. It's just that they just have no drive, no passion, no competition. Because I've played basketball and competed and played sports against my friends my whole life. And you know what? Like, as much as I love playing with my friends, I love beating them too. So it's not even the fact that these guys are friends. It's just there's just no passion. There's no heart. There's no pride in what they're doing. And because of that, you see this just very dry, very boring, very, very whatever effort on defense and offense, where it doesn't matter what the other guy does. I'm not going to take anything personal and whatever. And I hate it. And the Miami Heat are a key resemblance to that, because as much as Jimmy Butler wants to puff of his chest and be like, oh, man, I'm the guy in the playoffs. Well, dude, like, why don't you compete? And why aren't you competitive during the 82 games of the season? Because if you're that competitive, if you're like super, super duper competitive, you're not going to want to lose at anything. And it seems like a lot of these NBA players are okay with losing in the regular season. And if that's the case, then you're not as competitive as you think you are. So Miami here lost 7 games. Their defense has been bad. And things aren't looking good, man. But I think they'll find a way to turn it around, which is the annoying part in all of this. The Magic. I want to highlight the Magic because the Magic are going to be good. If the Magic are able to land a guard, just like a shooting guard, a scoring guard, the Magic are going to be good because the Magic have a good team. They're young. Paulo's really good. But they're just a shooter away. They're a scorer away from getting there, from making it. And let's see what else I have for you in the NBA. I think that's it. Watch out for the Knicks. I did a whole Knicks thing last time, so I'm not going to do that again. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at with the NBA so far. Boston's still number 1. Milwaukee still number 2. I want to see more Milwaukee under Doc to see how the changes he does and the adjustments he does before I talk about it in the pod. So I'll keep an eye out for that. The trade deadline is next week. Now, I don't know why the NBA did this, because next week is going to be all about the Super Bowl. So I don't understand why the NBA just didn't push the trade deadline the week after, where you own the calendar. Football's out. But I don't know. The NBA likes to lose to the NFL when it comes to ratings and stuff like that. Trade deadline next week, so we'll be up to date to that. Let's kick some football around. English Premier. Liverpool, first place, 48 points. Jurgen Klopp has said he's going to step down, and he vowed to never coach in England again, no matter what. He might coach internationally. He's going to coach in a different league, but he's not going to coach in England ever again, according to him. Jurgen Klopp is a great manager. He's one of the best managers in the entire world. Pep has called him the best manager, the best rival he's ever had. And his time in Liverpool is honestly one of the best. It's one of the best records, and it's one of the best things he's done. He took over a team that hadn't really won much, you know. They hadn't won all that much. They hadn't done all that much in a long, long time. And as of today, he's managed 317. He's won 199 games, 74 draws, 44 losses. And he was a Premier League champion 2019 and 20. He won the Champions League with this team. And so this is a guy that really did it all, man. Really, really played at the highest level, coached at the highest level with Liverpool, and competed with Man City, competed with those really good Chelsea teams. And it was fun to watch them. You know, it was fun to watch Klopp just compete and bring a team week in and week out competing. And he's definitely going to be missed. And obviously he's not gone forever. He's going to take some time. And he'll probably end up, I don't know, coaching, well, not my guy Nagelsmann in is the German coach. He's not going to be there. Tuchel, maybe. Bayern's struggling. Maybe he goes there. Maybe Real Madrid becomes available. Ancelotti. Maybe Barcelona. Xavi stepping down at the end of the year. But Klopp is going to have plenty of options. So he's stepping down at the end of the year. As a Manchester United fan, that makes me happy because I hate Liverpool. And if Klopp is out of the way, that's easier. But we have Ten Hag, so I don't know. The Ten Hag boys are still kicking strong, even though Manchester United has 32 points, 9th in the league. We look awful, but Ten Hag boys, shout out to them. And it returns. So it returns this week. So we have a few games that already went through. Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest 2-1. And then Manchester United plays Wolves on Thursday. And Liverpool-Chelsea tomorrow, which is the big game. Big rivalry game. So it's so we're back. Football's back. And then we got Champions League in a few weeks. But that's where we're at the English Premier La Liga. Xavi says he's stepping down at the end of the season. Things aren't working out for them. And as a Real Madrid fan, I am devastated. Because I wanted Xavi to stay. Because Xavi, manager at Barcelona, is good for Real Madrid. Because he does dumb things. The rumor is the Barcelona want to promote Rafa Marquez as the coach. Should make sense. He's good. He's proven himself, I guess. In Liverpool, name to watch Xavi Alonso. Xavi Alonso was an ex-Liverpool player. He's having great success in Bayer Leverkusen. Xavi Alonso has been linked to Real Madrid. Now, I don't know if he's going to stay in Leverkusen and just kind of wait for Ancelotti to leave. Viable option. But Xavi Alonso is going to have an opportunity with Liverpool probably. We'll see what happens with Barcelona, though, because Xavi's out. He's stepping down at the end of the year. It just hasn't worked out this year for Barcelona. Not the team that they were last year. And La Liga is increasingly becoming a two-team race between Girona and Real Madrid, who play on Thursday for the makeup game. So they play Getafe. So should be... If they win that, they will be entering match day 23 as first in La Liga. So something to watch there as we've been following along. Final notes here. In the NFL, the 49ers will wear the white uniform. The Chiefs will wear the red uniform. The Chiefs got to decide. They chose red. The Niners are wearing white. But that's next week. This week... we kind of get a rest from it. If you watch the Pro Bowl, you're one of the 4 people that watches it. Cool, enjoy it. We don't watch it. I don't watch it. So you're not going to get any coverage from me on the Pro Bowl. So unless like something breaks, but I mean, yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at with the world of sports. So hope you enjoy it. I'll talk to you again on Thursday with David. So I'll talk to you then. Go for the Niners. That's the pod. Thank you so much for listening. You can listen to Arrows Up Podcast anywhere you get your pods, and rate, review, subscribe. Follow us, Arrows Up, on Instagram. And remember, Triumph Protective Coatings. Use promo code Arrows Up to get 10% off. You can follow them, Triumph_Coatings. And this is, they specialize in concrete, polish, epoxy flooring systems, microtop floor and walls, and leveling underlays. They speak Spanish, so hit them up. Tell them Arrows Up sent you. They'll get you 10%. Thank you to them. Thank you to Angel for the music. And I will talk to you again on Thursday and on Sunday. And I will be with Harry on Sunday. Thursday with David. I don't want to talk baseball, to be honest with you. It's not going to be a fun baseball season. The Red Sox owners don't care about baseball and don't care about the Red Sox. They couldn't even get Justin Turner back. I'm saving on this for Sunday, but that's where we're at. Thank you for listening to the pod. I will talk to you on Thursday. Let's go 49ers.